In today's video, we're going to talk about message type, what they mean, the history of them, and which one you should be using in your survey business. So let's jump into it. So the first thing we need to understand is what a message type is. And a message type, the best way I can describe it is through a language. So if we come over here and we look at our little community bookstore, most of these books are going to be in English, right? But if there was one that was in French or Spanish, I wouldn't be able to read it. The same thing is true when we're talking about message types. So if I'm using CMR, for example, and your receiver is accepting RTCM, they're not going to be able to communicate with one another. It's going to be like the Tower of Babel in the Bible. But if we're on the same universal standard, then everyone knows what everyone is saying and we can go about our work normally. So with that in mind, we should talk about the history of how a universal standard actually came about. So last week, a surveyor asked me, why do I have to use RTCM3? So let's jump into it. So back in the early days of GPS, everyone had a proprietary message type. So John Deere had one, Trimble had one, Leica had one, and that was very convoluted because you could never switch from one GPS to another and they would never talk to one another. In the 1990s, Trimble came out with CMR, and that actually became the first universal standard for a little while, but then Trimble came out with in the 2000s CMR Plus, which was then again proprietary. So, but then everything changed when RTCM came out. So the Radio Technical Commission of Maritime Services, or as everyone on the planet calls it, RTCM, first started making a universal message type for GPS. And the reason they did that, and they're a nonprofit, right? So they don't have a dog in the race, but the reason they did that is so that different message types or different receivers could transmit information back and forth. The reason that that's important is now if I have a Leica GPS, I can use it with a Hemisphere, or if I have a Nano 7, I can use it with a Trimble. In 1990, they came out with RTCM2. That was the first one, and there was a lot of errors with it, so people preferred proprietary softwares and message types still, but then in the early 2000s, they came out with RTCM3, and that was actually pretty good. And now we're at RTCM 3.4 or MSN, and that is phenomenal. It's actually the preferred message type, to the fact that basically no one uses a proprietary message type except for Trimble now. And they're on CMR, I think it's CMR 7, something ridiculous. Anyhow, RTCM3 is the universal standard, and it's really quite phenomenal. So why should you use RTCM3 or whatever version is available when you watch this video? Well, if you use UHF dependent GPS, then that's a definite yes, you should read it. If you have a team of interconnected GPS, so you use Topcon, you use Trimble, you use Leica, you use Hemisphere, you use GeoMeasure, you should definitely be using the universal standard. If you're broadcasting large amounts of information with all the available constellations, it's one of the only message types that can actually take that much information at once. And then finally, if you just want to be mainstream, you want to have a system that people are going to know and understand for when you hire new individuals, where you go work at a new company, using the universal standard is really going to help you out. So if you like this video and you want to watch more videos like this, there's one right here.